Let's start. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for joining that too on the last day of your weekday. Friday evenings are totally packed with so much planning to what to do on the weekends. But still, you came here to join and to learn something new related to flow. So thanks a lot for this. And yeah, so there are a lot of things that we will be covering in this session. So before I talk too much about the session, let's give a thank thank to the saasguru platform before I introduce about myself. So saasguru is a platform which is tailored in such a way, it's built in a such a way, it's not just like where you can just come and learn. It's you can explore many things, maybe it you're learning, maybe it collaborating with the people to understand what are the different areas of Salesforce that I can explore and make my career into. And other than that, there are a lot of gurus who can help you being as a mentor. There are a lot of, there is best thing, there is a Slack channel where you just post your question and your all the questions will be answered there. And other than that, if you have plans to go deep dive and get a certification or make career into Salesforce, they have different boot camps, or you can different things arranged which you can enroll and start preparing for it. Other than that, there are live sessions as well. Mine is one of them, which is totally free. You just need to enroll and start learning. So yeah, that's pretty much about the saasguru. I have already told you about saasguru community. So this is the community which is very much similar to our Trailblazer community. Here you post your questions, you will get the answers 24/7. The community is active, and not only gurus, everyone is active, be it the CEO of saasguru or anyone, they are active and they're there to help you out. Other than that, on the occasional basis, you get the certification vouchers as well, which is around $200. And yeah, so let's move to my introduction. So yeah, I am 3x certified Salesforce developer. I also write blogs. So yeah, that as a part of my content creator. And on a part-time basis, I do give trainings on different aspects of Salesforce. Other than that, you will find me writing one more line, that is being a philanthropist. That's what I love to do. I love to help out people, be it making out their career, helping them out to solve their issues, be it related to sales, making career in Salesforce, or solving any problems related to their projects or in daily life. So, and that's what I feel. And I won't say that I'm perfect in everything, but I can say that I like to touch each aspect of Salesforce. And that's the reason I have written Lifetime Learner, and you will find me doing that, being learning and trying to share my knowledge. So yeah, that's a small introduction about me and saasguru. And let's move ahead. So before we move ahead, so as I said you, the beauty of this platform, saasguru, if you're planning to buy any course from them, you will get a discount of 20%. You just need to use my name, that is Aman, and this the numeric value, that is 20. So if you apply Aman 20, you get a discount of 20% on all the courses that has been offered by saasguru. What's next? saasguru plus Slack demo. So this is very important. You might be having a question in your mind. If I want to access saasguru, or if I want to explore more things about the community of saasguru, how can I do it? All you need to do is you need to install Slack, which is again a product of Salesforce now. Go there, search for the community, saasguru, or you can go to a website and search for saasguru. At the bottom, you get that Slack channel. Okay, too much talking. Now let's see what's in the box for me. I mean, for our audience for Spring'23. So this session is mainly focused on the 23 updates, Spring'23 updates that has been brought up for flows. And I won't be talking too much because I believe that instead of talking too much, it is like doing the implementation and showing you. So if you can see my screen, there are like tons of features they have bought in Spring'23, and especially for flows. And obviously there are many areas where Salesforce has bought new features, but why I am focusing only on flows, because at end of the day, we always feel like I want to do the automation of the different things that are available, but out of that, it will be best if I can achieve that particular thing without writing a single line of code. So you will find me promoting more about hashtag low code, no code. So that is the reason I am focusing only on the updates that has been bought for flows. And these are some of the updates. So instead of going reading out all the updates, what I will do is I will just show you one update from here, and then I will show you the actual implementation of that update on my org. So let's see what is the first update. So the first update is that Lightning data table is now generally available for screen flows. Before we go to org and start doing the update, seeing the update, what I want to tell you is if you want to see the new updates that has been been bought, you can go to this particular link where you get pre-release org. So every release, there are some of the orgs that are available, and that is for free. All you need to do is you go to this org, fill up your details, and you get a mail stating that your free release org is ready to use. I'm pasting out that link in the chat as well, in case you want to try it out. Once you are done with this, you will land up onto a org, which will be very much similar to your normal developer org. And we will deep dive. So we come to the setup option into home section, and that we will come here onto the flows. So let's select that. And in this flow, I will click on new flow. And what was the first update? Yeah, so I like the session to be more interactive. It's not only me who will be talking a lot. You can talk if I ask some questions, you just unmute yourself and you can ask, you can pull it out the answer. So the first update that I was talking about was Lightning data table. So I will go to screen flow and I will click on create, and you will find simultaneously I will be switching between the tabs. So let me tell you, how will you be able to differentiate which one is the Spring'23 org and which one is the Winter'23 org, or that means the normal org. So if you see this LTI 54 dev, this is my Spring'23, that is pre-release org. And this one, which you see here, CRM analytics, that is my before Spring'23, that is my normal, this Winter'23 release org, that is the normal developer org. Okay, so I hope when I switch between the tabs, you will be able to make a guess. So now I am into my Spring'23 release org, and the first feature that I was talking about was Lightning data table is now generally available with advanced thing. So I'll click on this plus icon and I will click on the screen. And here I will click on and search for data table. So if you see here, now there is how you differentiate whether it is generally available or not. So if you see here, there is nothing written as such called beta. So beta phase means that it is still not generally available. There are chances that there can be some issues, there can be some bugs while using that particular feature. If I show you the same option in my Winter'23 release org, I will click here plus icon and I will click on the screen, and if I click on data table, search for the data table. If you see here, it is showing beta. So beta phase means it is still there, but there can be some issues. Salesforce is working on to improve it. Okay, so let's go to our Spring'23 org and explore it from here. I will track that particular element, a component from my this particular in data table to my canvas area. And here I will give it a name. It will be Lightning. This is not the normal name. This is the API name. So if you put any space or any special characters, there might be some restrictions. Spring'23. I'll copy this and I paste it here. Yeah. So as I said, right, special characters, all the characters won't be allowed. So I give it a name Lightning data table as a label Spring'23. And now the next thing that I need to do is source collection. So what is the source collection? Obviously, I want to show the data from certain objects, right? So I will select an object, and how to select that? We need to create a resource for that. So it is a source collection. Okay. Now I'll click on new resource. And here I'll click on variable. And this variable, I will give it a name as account records, because I want to show the data or the account records. And if you want any description, you can give it or you can leave it blank. So this is to show account records. Okay. And the data type, always remember you need to select the data type as record. And this is very important since it is a source collection. When it says collection, it should be always, this checkbox should be checked. And here we need to select the object. So I will select the object as account. That's it. Done. Now, if you see here, there is still a small bug still available. Even though you created a resource, you can't see that resource is here. So what you can do is you can click on plus icon and you can see now your resource is available. Okay. Now, once you do that, there is no label for my lightning data table. So I will say use the label as table title. So this label will be the table title. It's available here now. What's next? I want to show the data in the tabular format. So obviously I need to have columns. So we will bring out that fields. So you already got to that object here. Now those fields will be coming from that particular resource that you have created. So here I'll say account name, or I will just say name and it will take that field. So account name, and you can use your own label if you want to have it. If you don't want to have it, you can leave it as it is and click on done. Now, this is one beautiful feature they have bought in Spring 23, which was not there. First of all, it is now generally available. And the second thing is, as soon as you add some columns, okay, as soon as you add some fields, you will be able to see the preview of that particular field. So account name, I will quickly add some fields. I'll say account name, rating, and some more fields, revenue, done. And another field I will select as time. Okay. Now, once I do this and I click on done, you can quickly see that fields are available, and in that they are available in the tabular format. If you want, before actually lightning data table came in winter 23. Before winter 23, if you want to build a lightning data table, you need to first use your LWC component. Now they are giving more power to the admins. Now, if I want to build the same thing in my winter 23 org, so I'll just show you what is the difference. Okay. Here I will give it the name as winter 23. And I will say use label as that. Let's create a collection here. New resource. Resource type will be variable. Same thing. Account records. Description, I'm leaving it as of now. Allow multiple. Here you give it the object name as account. That's it. Again, select it. And here, configure columns. So select the field, and if you give it the name here, if I select the account name as the field, okay, and I click on done. Did you observe the difference? I selected a field and I clicked on done. But here, when I selected the field and I click on done, there was a change here. When you select a field, like suppose I'm selecting any field here, something as billing city. And when you click on done, that field will be available here in the preview section. Whereas in winter 23, if you do the same thing, if you select a field, okay, and if you click on done, there is no preview available. So other than making it from beta to generally available in Spring 23, they have also added one more beautiful thing, that you can have a preview of what fields you are adding and how it will appear. Okay. So I will just remove this and that's it. Done. Okay, I have not given label to my screen. I'll say Spring'23 updates for flows. API name, this flow is created to show that's it. Now click on done, click on save, and here I will say the same thing. Okay, give me a minute. Save it. Okay, there is already a name. Okay, now it's time to test. I click on run, and if I tested it, it will take some time. Yeah. Oh, I am able to see the lightning data table, but I'm not able to see the records. So if you want to show the records, what is the one thing that you missed it? First, you need to get the records, and then you will show the records on the UI, right? So you are missing the get records. So first get the records. Now to get the records, we have an element called get records. Now we'll say get account records. Okay, type error. Get account records. This element will help to fetch account records. Okay, and here I say account. That's it. Now next of the fields, I'll say I want the account where name is not null, so is null, and you say it as false. Okay, and anything else? No, that's it. And one more thing, how many records to store? I will say I want to store all records, and here you need to select choose fields and assign variables. Okay, why? Because I have already created a resource, right? You saw that resource variable I created to show the fields from my account object. So that I want to map it. So I will say record collection, account records, and field I will say as name. And then I will add field as revenue. Then next field was rating. And the last field that I had was time. Okay, now let's click on done. Now it is ready. We will save it. And now we will have the upgraded data table. Now you can see the records beautifully. Awesome feature. Okay, what is the next update that I have is, yes, see element description on the flow canvas. So instead of going here and again clicking that button, it does take some time. So yeah, what is the next one? That see element description on the flow canvas. Now what is this? So here, if you see my screen, now here, if you have seen that I have created an element, right? And yep. I gave a description for that element. Okay, here this element will help to fetch record. So before this, if I wanted to know why I have created this element, there was no way until unless I click on this and I see here the description. That was the only way to say it. But now Salesforce says that you can beautifully see this. You can just click on this particular place. You will be able to see this flow is created to show Spring'23 updates. Why I have used this element? If there is any description written, you can just need to hover over here, this particular option that they are given here, and you will be able to know why this particular element has been created. or added. The same problem if I have, like, if I give a description for this data table. Okay, I don't think so there is an option to give a description. Winter 23 flow. Okay, and if I click on done, so there is no way where we can see why this element has been added to my flow. So this is a new feature they have bought it. Let's see what is the next feature. The next feature says get streamlined flow element menu. So this is very good feature they have bought, and this helps normally for the beginners who have started learning the flow or started getting their hands dirty on flow. So what is that? So if I want to add any element, okay, here suppose after this two element, I want to add another element. So if I click on plus icon and I want to know, or better I will show from here. I want to know what this element will do. Like suppose what does screen element do? So here you can click on this help text and it will show you collect information form or display information to a user who runs the flow. Okay. So this option is not new. This option was already available in Winter 23, but now it is in proper clear view. So if you see the same particular feature, okay, like suppose this action element as is showing this particular description about it. If you see the same thing in Winter 23, if I click on this icon and if I click, so if you see it is going outside this box and it is getting, it is not the entire description it is coming up, right? You have to keep your cursor over it and then it will show you why this action, what this element is going to do. But in Spring 23, you just need to click on this help text and it will talk everything about that particular element. Cool feature. Let's see the next one. So yeah, this is a very good features they had bought it for flows. So what it is, okay, I don't know what happened to this. Okay, so I'm not able to bring that image, maybe some problem in my slide. I'm very sorry for that. So say goodbye to element iteration limit. So if any one of you is working on flows, now there was a problem, okay, when you're using for loop, so or if you are building a complex flow, so there are chances that you are using more than 2000 elements. Okay, very complex flows does have more than 2000 elements, although I have not worked on such scenarios where I can see more than 2000 elements. Max I have seen is something around 1200 elements. But suppose there comes a requirement where you want to use more than 2000 elements. So before Spring 23, there was like a limit, okay, system limit that an error used to come if you want to use more than 2000 elements, if you're trying to use more than 2000 elements. But from Spring 23 onwards, they have bought it that there is no limit for using element. You can use as many element that you want inside your flow. Okay. So before Spring 23, if you have this particular problem, there were a lot of workarounds available. But keeping that particular problem in mind, in Spring 23, Salesforce bought it, the new one, that is, you can have more than 2000 elements and we are not going to restrict you on using that. So that was one cool feature. And what is the next one? So this is another one, easily add lookup fields to your screen flow. So what does that say? So if you are trying, okay, before Spring 23, if you are trying to see, like suppose I'm having this, I'm trying to show data from my contact object. Okay. Now contact does have parent, or let us suppose I'm trying to show data from my case object. So case does have parent, right? Case have parent as account and contact, asset. These all are the parent, or what you can say, these are the parents of the case object. Okay. Now, while bringing up that particular, like suppose I will show you an example and then I will talk about it. So I want to show records from case object. Okay, so I will say case records and API name. I will just leave the description. Data type is record, object is case, and I will leave it everything as it is. Okay, and the same thing I will do it for my winter 23 org as well. So I will click on new resource. Here I will say case records. Okay, and here I will say case. I'll select this case object and leave everything as it is. Now, here also I can see all the fields of this case object. Okay, and Spring 23 also I can see all the fields of case object. But there is one feature that they have bought. Earlier, if you want to bring the lookup fields, so case is having lookup with account, contact, asset. Okay, if I want to bring this fields, that was not possible in winter 23 before Spring 23. If you can see here, there is no field, there is no lookup field here. Okay, there is no lookup field here. But in Spring 23, we have that. You can see this is the lookup field. You can just drag it and you can drop it here. You can bring your contact ID as well. You can see the data type is the lookup, which is not there in your before Spring 23. Isn't that a cool feature? Let's see the next feature. The next feature says select a value from a list of choices with the choice lookup component. So again, and this feature is available in Spring 23, but in the beta version. So what is this feature? So earlier, if I want to bring something called the lookup component, okay? So what I can do is I need to use lookup and then I need to write everything, all the particular values, the choices and all that thing. Now you can directly have a choice lookup component. So you need to drag it here and it is in a beta phase, which says that there can be some problem while using it. Okay. So I will say this is choice lookup beta. And here I will just say, I want to show account records. I'll tell you how does it look on UI. So I'll just say account recs. The API name will be the same. And here I will click on choice and I'll select new choice resource. And here I will select record choice set. Object is account. Okay. Now here, if you want to filter while having this records, you can select it. I am going to leave everything as it is. Configure each choice. So here I will say name. I only want to show the name field. Okay. Text. And here also the name. So here the label is name and here the choice value that you want to show is name. You will understand what I'm trying to do. Okay, let me see what is the error. So here, yes, I'll say none, get all records. Okay. And once I click on done. So this feature is basically helpful when you are trying to create dynamic form. Okay. Now what is this? So I have multiple records in my org. Okay. And instead of asking my users to go and search, like if you know very well, right? When you have list of records, so you go into the list view and you have to scroll down if you want to see the records. But here Salesforce has bought this beautiful feature where you click on this and you can see all the records. So here first it will show you the recently viewed record that you have seen. But other than that, if you want to select a particular record, so you just give it a name. So I'll just say United something, United Oils and Gas Corp. And you can see that particular record is available here. Okay. Based on this, you can again add one more feature and you can have a list of record that you have selected and you can view it. So this feature was not available before. Now they have bought this feature, that is choice lookup one. Okay, let's see the next feature. What is that? This is giving more power to your admins. Search for an individual in flow. So this particular option that you are seeing here, this will act like your SOSL. So I hope there are some developers here who know SOSL very well. So before this, there was nothing called SOSL in your flows. SOQL was there, that is get record is nothing but your SOQL query language. So what is this SOSL? So if you want to use this feature, so SOSL or this get individual record, which they have bought new feature, is like you want to get a single particular value that I am passing from multiple objects. Okay, so that feature is available in developer, or I mean, as in Apex programming, it is available, but they're trying to bring in for flows. And again, this feature is also in beta phase. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to click on plus icon and you need to click on action. Once you click on action, here just say search for individual. And you see here, it's in beta phase. And I'll tell you why it is in beta phase, because there are a lot of things that need to be worked upon this. Why? Because SOSL works for all the objects, standard as well as custom objects. But here they have only implemented for contact and lead objects. So it is not fully ready, but you can use it. So suppose I select contact, okay? And one more thing, if you select one object, so as I said, it isn't still in beta phase. If you select one object, you are not able to select one other object. So it is not fully ready, but they are trying to build up. So I'll just give it as name as SOSL power in flows. And here search fields. So you know very well, right? When you write SOQL, you write find, then your text, and then in the fields that you want to search, in all fields or in your in name fields or phone fields. So here I can select, they have given restriction, okay, based on the object that you select. So if I select all fields, so it will search for the text that you are trying to enter. If I enter United, and you can make it dynamic, okay, you don't need to pass the static value, you can make it dynamic by passing a resource. I'm making it static so that I can show you on the screen quickly, and I will click on done. Okay, so SOSL power and flows. Again, I want to show what is coming. So I'll say screen, and I will select this, and here I will select display text, and here I will select display SOSL records. Okay, what I will say? Okay, that's an API name. I'm very sorry for that. So you can't have space. I will say display SOSL records, and I will say this record is coming from contact object with ID, and here insert resource. If you see here, this is the action which you need to select, and you can only see it is working on contact object, lead object, and employee object. So I'll just select contact IDs. So you can only get IDs, okay? And you click on done. Yeah, I have not given name. That individual records. Okay, now I'll click on save. It is saved. I'll click on run. And now if I, so you are guessing. I'll just click on the next one and see. I have not added anything, right? And I'm getting so many record IDs. Why? Any guess why I'm getting all so much record IDs even though if I have not added anything? Because there can be some context, right, which with where there is no name, there is blank in all the fields. So it is showing me all the contacts which is having, no, sorry, not blank. It is showing me all the contacts which is having the value as united in their any of their fields. Okay, so if we select this one and if we try to see whether do we have any such record, so I will quickly go to my setup, and from here if I go and I click on contacts, and if I pick up any record, and I will change this ID with the ID that I have. So you know, right, this particular contact has united in all the fields in their account name, they have united. This is again a cool feature. So before Spring 23, migrate to Flow, people who are using it, they know very well, migrate to Flow was only available for workflow rule. Now it is available for process builder as well. Okay, so if you go here in your setup and you find this option, so there is chances that I don't have any, this is my fresh org, so there is no what you say, no process builder, so you won't be able to see that. But if you have any process builder, so you will get that process builder of all the process builders here, and you will get that option, migrate to Flow will be enabled. So if you see here, if I click on process builder, so I don't have any process builders. Okay, so that's the reason migrate to Flow option is not available here. Or I can quickly go and create one process builder. So I'll say sample process builder. When a record changes, save. I'll just click create it. Okay. Save. Criteria. Account. Name. Choose. Is null. Boolean false. Save. Demo. Save it. I will just give it any action. So I will just say that when a record is created, what anything, I will just say create a record. And I am statically passing the value, but this is just for demo purpose. That's it. I'll click on activate, confirm. And now if I go to my migrate to Flow, I hope that option will be available. What's that process builder? It's active, right? Okay. Why is it not giving me an option to migrate? So this, I tested it again. Okay, I don't know why that option is. Maybe it do take some time to come. So if you see here, we learn more about what workflow and processes. So you can migrate everything to Flow now, not only workflow rules, but process builder as well. So that option is available, and this is not only I'm talking in a bluff way, it's already there in Salesforce official document as well. So you can check out this option still available. It is taking some time to reflect here, maybe, but that option is available. What is the next thing? And the last thing, obviously I mentioned thank you. So other than that, one important feature is also there. Since we are not able to cover up in this session, but still if you want to have that particular thing to check, what is that? Bring external data into Flow Builder without code. So what does it say is you can make HTTP callouts through flows. So that is very advanced thing, and I have purposely not added here because it will take some time to show you how to make the callouts and all that. So if you go to action, if you can see here one particular new action called create HTTP callout. Okay, now you can make a HTTP callout also using flows. If you want to know about this, what you can do is you can book a session with me. So there is a session, 15 minutes free session on this saasguru platform, and I can show you the entire demo how we can do it. But it is not possible to show it because it will be too much for all the audiences out there. You can just ping me hi on Slack, and then I will help you to understand this particular feature, which is making HTTP callouts using flows. What's next? This is the next. A big thank you to all the audiences out there.